Now, the things which I have written on the board, some of them are facts, correct, and some of them are wrong. So, any one of you who can tell me which are the correct things and which are the wrong things? Yes, what is your name? Please stand up.
Tahir.
Tahir. Which one is correct out of this?
Or
Okay, name is Vijay Verma is correct. What else is correct?
second.
Qualification is correct. Okay. What else is correct? Everything else is wrong. Okay, Tahir, sit down. Yes, what is your name?
Yash Brahman.
Yash Brahman. Huh.
So experience is 19 years.
Experience is 19 years. So that information which I gave was wrong. Anything else which is wrong?
Accounts economics is right.
Hmm.
And friendly is right. Last one.
Lenient. Liberal.
Maybe right.
Maybe right. Okay, sit down. Anyone else who knows about me? Anyone of yours, elder brothers, sisters studying over here? Yes? What is your name? Janvi Desai. Your elder brothers, sisters have been studying here? Who? Vaishvi Desai. Okay, so what information you know about me? Name Vijay Verma is correct. Okay, what else? Subjects I'll be taking accountancy and economics. And everything else is correct. Means only this information was wrong. Experience is not 9 years, it is 19 years. Anyone else? Any information if it is wrong? Yes, what is your name? Niyati. Okay.
Economics is taught by Abhishek sir.
Exactly, very good. I am not going to take the subject of economics. Which subject I will be taking up? Accountancy and statistics will be taken by me. Okay, economics, very good. So now, economics will be taken by Abhishek sir. Any other information which anyone feels is wrong? Yes, any one of you, any other information which you find is wrong over here? No other information is wrong, everything else is correct, right? One is still wrong. I am definitely friendly with all of you. You will have an atmosphere where you can easily ask the doubts to me if you are not able to understand. So there is no suspicion about that. But I am going to be strict enough. And not be liberal. I'll be strict if you don't study on time. I'll be strict if you don't do your work regularly and on time. Otherwise, you'll not face any problem over here. Okay, so there is a brief introduction about myself. My name is Vijay Verma. My qualification is Chartered Financial Analyst, DBF Diploma in Business Finance from ICFAI University, Hyderabad. Plus I have done MCom from MS University in Finance and Accounting with Honours degree. I am teaching these two subjects for the last 19 years. And the nature, I'll be friendly to solve your doubts, but strict if you don't study on. Okay. So this was a brief introduction about myself. Now a brief introduction about you people, but the quantity is more. So if I try to take introduction of everyone in a single period, we will not be able to start with any subject today. So few out of yours introduction I'll be taking up today, and we have enough time over here in our classes. So next 2-3 periods I'll try to inquire about others also. Just now, few people already stood up. So first I'll write their names and details itself. So I'm writing the information about some of you. Okay, I'm writing the information about some of you, so that you also get to know each other. In that information, I would like to know your name, 10th standards result. Yes, I could hear some noise in between. 10th standards result I would like to know. Then I would like to know your taste, or hobby, or interest, or you can say passion, any one of the things, and of course your school. So just now few people already stood up. Tahir, please stand up again. Tahir, right? So his name is Tahir, every one of you. What is your surname?
Rana.
Tahir Rana. What is your 10th standards result?
51.
51%. What is your taste, hobby, passion, interest, anything?
Hobby cricket.
Cricket. And which school?
Saint Mary.
Okay, sit down. Then Janvi Desai. Is this spelling I written correct? J-A-H.
J.
Okay, Janvi Desai. What is your result?
71.
What is your hobby or passion?
Swimming,
Swimming
dancing.
and dancing. Okay, very good. And which school? Others. Okay. Sit down. Please. Niyati, right?
Yes.
Son, Parik. Srushti Parik's younger sister. Percentage, 10%?
73.5.
Okay. Hobby?
Art and craft.
Sorry?
Art and craft.
Art and craft. So, can I say painting is your hobby? Okay. And school?
Tejas.
Ages. Okay. Be seated. And Yash Brahmbhat. Percentage?
63.
63. Taste or hobbies?
Football.
Football. School?
Shaishav.
Shasha. Okay, be seated. Now, any one of you who has scored above 90% in 10th standard? About 85%? Please stand up. What is your name? Harshita Reddy. Percentage? 86%. Taste, hobby, passion or interest?
Playing volleyball and reading novels.
Okay. And which school you are studying? Sant Kavi. Okay. Be seated.
Digvijay Solanki.
Digvijay Solanki. Digvijay. Vijay. So of course it has to be good. Digvijay Solanki. Percentage?
87.
87. Hobby?
Cricket.
Cricket. And school?
Vidyagala.
Vidyavihar. And now you'll be going to which school?
VHS.
BHS. Okay, be seated. And Simran Maheshwari.
.67.
89.67%.
Craft.
Okay.
Pages.
Now you will be in pages. Okay. You were in bright earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, very bright students, huh? Now, anyone who is having a hobby or passion about singing? Please stand up. What is your name? Ayushi Shah. Percentage?
68.
68. Singing. And school? Sant Kavi. Okay, be seated. Yes? Prarthana. GAUR. Percentage? 73.8. Singing and school? Rosary. Okay, be seated. How do you spell it? Okay, Dhyani. And Kothari. Percentage? 70. Singing. And school? Ages. Okay. So, remaining introduction we'll keep it in the further periods and I'll ask for hobbies too. But you can see that I've written information about 10 people on the board. Okay? All of you are clear with the seating arrangements, etc. Any queries regarding that? So whatever seats have been allotted to you at the time of admission, all of you will be sitting that in that place throughout the year. Okay? Now, you can see that the information which we have collected over here first of all, this whole set of information, technically we call it as data. Okay, the whole set of information, technically we call it as data. Now, what is the first thing I did over here was collected your information. Okay, why I am doing all this? Why did I do all this? First reason, you also don't know much about me, which I could see in the beginning itself. And I also don't know anything about you. Because we both are meeting for the first time. So, very first objective of mine to collect this information is to know about students, which will help me in teaching throughout the year. I'll come to know who are already good in studies, who are average in studies, where can I put more efforts. I'll come to know what is your interest. So I'll try to give those examples which will generate interest for every one of you. So that is my objective, to know about the students. Okay. What I did over here is, first I have collected your information. Right? Now can you see it is very haphazard? If you see from this column point of view, if you see from this column point of view only, is it very haphazard or not? Because the highest is occurring somewhere in end, somewhere at the end. Okay? The lowest is occurring in the beginning. So what would be the proper order? Probably I should have written this first, then 86, then 73.5, then 73.8, then 70. Where is 71? Okay, so that would come as 6th. This would come as 7th. And 63 would come as 8th. And 68 would come as 9th. Okay, this would be the proper, can I say, organization. Organization means to organize it properly, to present it properly. I have presented the things in haphazard manner. If I would have presented in a proper manner, what I would have done is, first I would have written the information about Simran Maheshwari. Second, I would have written information about Digvijay Solanki. Third, I would have written the information about Harshita Reddy. Fourth, I would have written information about Niyati Parikh. Fifth, I would have written information about Prarthana Gaur. Sixth, I would have written the information about Janvi Desai. Seventh, I would have written information about Dhyani Kothari. Eighth, I would have written information about Yash Brahmbhat. Ninth, I would have written information about Ayushi Shah. And tenth, I would have written information about Tahir Rana. This would be the proper order. So what do you call this as? Organization. Okay. And then I would make analysis for my purpose. For my purpose, I would make analysis that this batch is a mix of all the talents. I make an analysis. The batch has students who are good in studies. The batch has students who are good in physical sports activities. The batch has students who have talents of singing, dancing, swimming, arts, etc. also. So it's a good mixed batch on the whole. That is my analysis. And this complete thing, you call it as statistics. This would be the subject you would start in the beginning. All of you shall repeat after me. Statistics is collection, organization, and analysis of the data collected with predetermined objective. Once again, statistics is collection, organization, analysis of data collected with predetermined objectives. Is everyone of it clear with it? Now, how many students would be there in the class right now? Around 60. Roughly around 60 or 61 students have been enrolled with us. Some may be absent. Okay, otherwise around 60 or 61. This 60 or 61 students in the class is called population. In statistics, the term which we use is called population. Okay? But I have collected information of only 10 out of them. We don't have time to collect all about 60. Otherwise, first period would be over in just getting the information. So as I said, I take the introduction of others in the remaining period as well. Out of 60, I have collected information about how many people? 10. That 10 is called sample. 10 students about whom I inquired out of 50, 60 students is called sample. So what is the population? The totality of units covered under the field of inquiry is called population. The total number of units from whom I have to inquire is called population. And few units selected from the population is called sample. Okay, once again, what is population? Total number of units from whom the things are to be inquired is called population. From whom the inquiry is to be made is called population. And few units selected from population is called sample. So why do we do sample? Okay, why I did not do population and why did I do sample? Tell me the reason. Why I could not get information of all 60? Why did I collect the information only of 10? Any reason? Any one of you? Yes? Because the time was less. What is your name? Atifa. Okay, very good, Atifa. I collected the information only about 10 out of 60 because the time is limited. If we had 2-3 hours, then 1 hour we would have spent on introduction, and remaining hours we would have started with the subject of statistics as well. So why do we go in for sample instead of population? First, it saves Any other reason? I'll give you some situations where practically doing an inquiry from population is just impossible. You don't have alternative. You have to go in for sample only. I'll give you some situations, some instances. Okay. After your school, when you go home, your lunch or food might be ready. Your mother would have already cooked it up. And while cooking the food, does the mother taste it or not? Whether salt is proper, pepper is proper or not, spice is proper or not, is it tasty or not? So, would she do a population survey or a sample survey? Not a population survey. She cannot eat the entire food and then when you come back, food was tasty. So here what do we have to do? Only sample. We don't have alternative of population. You all would have gone in some or the other time for blood test. What do they do in blood test? They take a sample of few drops of blood and then they decide on the basis of that. They make an analysis from that few drops which disease you have, what problem you are facing. Again, what is that? Can they do population survey then? They cannot take the entire blood out of your body and then tell you you are suffering from malaria. When you are not alive now to know the sign. So here also we take a which survey? Sample. How many of your parents store wheat, rice, etc. for the full year? Okay, very good. What is your name? Hate Talati. So how do they select the wheat or rice when they go to the shop?
By seeing the sample and taking some quantity from it.
Exactly. How do they select it? From the sack of wheat, they take some handful quantity and judge it. This one is good. They are very experienced. They can judge it very easily. I still cannot do it by now. But parents are genius in that. They'll take handful quantity of 3-4 sacks of wheat and then they'll judge that this is of good quality, sharbati, etc. whatever lottery terms are there. And then they'll say, pack this, we'll take it home. Or do they sit there? And each and every quantity of wheat from the sack they are going to check. What they are going to do only? Sample survey, not a population survey. So these are the phases of life where population survey is just impossible. But what is the only course of action available for us? Sample survey. Right? In detail about this, we shall study in chapter 7. Statistics, chapter 6. Statistics, chapter 1 is just an introduction to statistics, that's it. We'll study only first step in detail, that is second and third chapter will study and rest of all the chapters will study. Sampling we will study in detail in 7th chapter of statistics. Right? Today I am just going to discuss few terms with you, that's it. Only few terms I am going to discuss with. So first of all, what is statistics? Raise your hand. Who can define it again? Statistics definition. Just now we discussed in the beginning, so any one of you can define it. What is your name? Vidisha. Yes.
Statistics is collection, organization, analysis of data collected with predetermined objective.
Correct. You are studying from which school? Tejas. And what is your percentage? 75%. Okay, sir. What is statistics? It is collection, organization, and analysis of data collected with predetermined objectives. Okay. What is population? Raise your hand. Any one of you, what is population? Yes.
Population is the sum of all units.
Okay. So what is your name? Last bench. Khushi. What is population?
Total number of units from which the information is required.
Very good, correct. The total number of units from which the inquiry is to be made is called population. And any one of you who can define what is the sample? Yes, what is your name? Vrushti.
Some amount from the population.
Correct. Few units selected from population, representing the population is called sample. Are you okay with it? Well, so you are supposed to get 2 notebooks from here. So I'm distributing 2 notebooks to you. Did you already get it by now? No, right? So I'm distributing it to you. One of the notebooks you can start using for the subject of statistics. We'll write these 3 terms in the notebook today, right? Did you all give the heading? Chapter 1, Introduction to Statistics. How many of you have got the textbooks? Okay. And how many of you are going to get it from the school? Anyone of you? Which school is that? Rosie. Anyone else who is going to get it from the school? All others have purchased it, right? Okay. No need of textbook today, but tomorrow onwards, statistics textbook you'll bring in my period. Okay? We shall start with the further things from the first chapter. And I'll be taking 2 chapters of statistics simultaneously, chapter 1 as well as chapter 2. Chapter 1 is full of theory. So some concepts will keep on understanding. And thereafter the practical questions also will start from chapter 2. So, anyone who is still writing it, raise your hand. So how do we define it? Statistics is collection. And statistics means collection comma organization and analysis. Yes, further? Of data collected with predetermined objective. So, any confusions? Okay, first we did the collection of the data, but that was in haphazard, random order. So, second step involved was organization. Organization means you write it in proper order, first highest percentage and last the lowest percentage. After that we made analysis. And all this was made of the data which was collected with some predetermined objective. Any confusions in that? Now give the heading terms in statistics. Terms in statistics. First, population. The total number of units covered under the field of inquiry is called population. Any confusion in this? Second term, sample. Few units selected from population representing the population is called sample. Okay, but in detail we'll study in chapter number 7. So in this chapter we are going to study only about the population and its data. Third term, write down data. So what is data? Information. In one word, what is data? Data is the information which we obtain from the units of population is called data. Okay, so write down information or results based on some characteristic of population or sample is called data. Any confusion in that? Okay, the information which we obtain from the population based on some characteristic. Like here, what was the characteristic? Result. I can also obtain the data about your heights. Now I am collecting the information about which characteristic of yours? Height. That is also data. I can get information about your weights. Now which characteristic I am interested in? Weights. That is also data. Therefore, what did I make right? Information or results based on some characteristics of population or sample is called. Any confusion in that? All of you able to understand? Now can I say that here two types of data are collected. One is your percentage. Second is hobby or passion. Third is your school. Three informations are collected from you. This is expressed in numbers. This is expressed in numbers. But can this be expressed in numbers? I cannot say you are one dancer, two dancer, three dancer. I cannot say you are one singer, two singer, three singer. This is certain quality which cannot be expressed in numbers. So data is of two types. One is called quantitative, which can be expressed in numbers. Second is called qualitative, which cannot be expressed in numbers, but it is expressed by attributes. So what do you call this? Cricket, swimming, dancing, and the names of schools as they are called as? Attributes. Something which cannot be expressed in numbers is called as attributes. And this one is represented by numbers. Any confusion in that? So next paragraph, write down there are two types of data. There are two types of data. Below that, A, quantitative, and like that. The data which can be expressed, the data which can be expressed in numbers, the data which can be expressed in numbers is called quantitative data. Okay, below that B, qualitative data. The data which cannot be expressed in numbers, which cannot be expressed in numbers, comma, but by attributes is called qualitative data. Did everyone of you understand this? Two more more things we'll understand but will not write it. We'll do that tomorrow. For first period, we'll keep it restricted to this much only. Okay, in the first period, we'll keep it restricted to introductory level only. There is one more classification of data. What is that classification of data? If you collect any information on your own for the first time, if you collect any information on your own for the first time, it is called primary data. Okay? And you collect some information and someone else uses it for his own purpose, then it is called secondary data. That we will study in detail in this chapter. How to collect the primary data and how to collect the secondary data. But what is primary data? If an institution or user collects the data for the first time on his own, then it is called primary data. And same data, if it is used by other institution or user, it is called secondary data. Something like you prepare on your own in exams and go. Whatever information you are writing in the paper, that is primary data. And your neighbor copies from you. Then whatever information he is writing, for him it is secondary data. Okay. The population survey is done by the government once in 10 years. Every first year of the decade they do it. The first survey was done in 1901. Thereafter 1911, 21, 31 and lastly it was done in 2011. That survey is done by the government for the first time. It is called primary data. Government collects it for the first time on its own. Then our education department uses it in our books. So for the education department that data becomes secondary data. Is everyone of it clear with that? Whatever you do on Google, that is secondary data. And the person who has put it on Google, for that person it's a primary data. You understand that? So this we shall study in very much detail in the chapter. And also I'll start with the second chapter, which is a practical chapter tomorrow. Okay. Any confusions in this? Let us revise it in brief, then I'll leave for today. So what is the meaning of statistics? Statistics is collection, organization, analysis of data collected with predetermined objectives. What is population? Total number of units covered under the field of inquiry, from whom we try to inquire. Sample? Few units selected from the population, representing the population is called sample. Data? Information or results based on some characteristics. These are the characteristics. Based on some characteristics of units of population or sample. If that data can be expressed in numbers, it is quantitative data. If that data cannot be expressed by numbers but by attributes, then it is qualitative. Is everyone clear with that? During admission, you would have been informed that every day between 4:30 to 4:45 you will have revision, daily revision, viva. So these definitions you learn and come tomorrow. Between 4:30 to 4:45, our supervisors shall be asking you this definition in the class. Okay? Same way in economics and BO, other subjects also, whatever is done in the class, you have to daily revise that time. Your timings are 3:30 to 5:45. 3:30 sharp, I'll be starting with my classes. Today was the first day. People were coming somewhere in the office, so it was late, a little bit late, 5 minutes. But otherwise, 3:30 sharp, I shall be starting with my classes. So before 3:30, everyone should be present in the class. Okay? Accountancy and statistics, two subjects which I am going to take. I want you people to maintain 2 notebooks for each of them, classwork and homework. Homework notebook, once you start getting homework in a day or so, when you come to the class, you'll submit it outside. You can see this passage area is there with the benches. Your homework notebook you'll keep on the first bench. Okay? And while going, you'll collect it. In that period of time, 2 hours, our supervisors will check whether your homework is done or not. Okay, so that's why 2 notebooks. For homework notebook, you'll keep it outside, and then classwork notebooks you'll bring along with you in the class. Any confusions in that? Remaining information as and when the day passes will give you. Right? Bye everyone. For today, that will be all. Abhishek sir will be coming for economics.